Whoa, okay. Oh, wait, camera angles. We got tight views. We cool with this?
Oh,
Okay, we just switched it. It doesn't matter. What's
we look
happening?
like uh
We just
girls real quick. Like when they do the cut and it's just the three and half of their faces on screen.
Yo, this is a straight up movie poster like crop right here. Like this is like this is the
Yeah,
action
album cover.
pose. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is what you would see in front of the movie theater when they're promoting the movie.
Oh yeah. Outside post.
You know what I'm saying? The trio right here. Like,
They
okay,
brought the lasers back. All right.
got the lasers. Got the laser.
You already know what it is.
I'm out of town right now, so
It's cool. We like the Robin's egg blue. It's a vibe.
You know what I'm saying? It must be cold. This man got on. You got a hoodie on?
Hey man, they keep it cold out
here. He took a trip up to northern Canada for the summer. You know what I'm saying? He had to cool off.
Oh, Canada. Wait, you really in Canada?
No, I'm in Charlotte.
That's what I thought. I
Man, we have to. We were creating a story. We were gonna see where that would go.
About to say, if you film in another country, we technically international at that point. I mean, we live.
I mean, we on the internet, so technically we like.
All right.
We
real
like
quick.
we're technically what intergalactic.
This is who the sponsor is today. We got Sprite.
You got your green screen
you got
on.
Your green screen on. Hey, I was about to say, yo, that is a green screen is on. Because I was like, yo, when did first of all, when did Sprite switch to
that's
Carolina
cool
Blue?
Though. That's kind of cool though when you think about it.
For real. I'm like, what? Oh, they got a new flavor?
Yeah, there's zero sugar.
Is it good?
It's good. I mean, they've got this ingredient in it called asulfame potassium. It's 200 times sweeter than sugar, and it retains its flavor through that nutrient.
Is it 200 times more addictive?
Nah, because maybe, I don't know. But I don't really drink soda, but I've been drinking this since I've been here. It might tell you something.
Ducky Momo says certified international gumbo. You know what? I would actually flip that around and say certified gumbo international. You know what I'm saying? That's like the conglomerate. I like where your head's at though. I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking with it. CGI. Oh, CGI. Let's go. I like it. I'm rocking with that. I'm rocking with it.
I will be overseas in 2022 for like a total of 5 months.
Where you going?
No, I'm international. You know?
Hey, look.
He took a deep breath. Took a deep breath.
We've got some countries on the list. Looking at Italy, looking at Dubai, looking at Greece, looking at Japan. Gonna do digital nomad. Like,
that's lit.
Hey man, living the dreams.
Hey, speaking of Japan, that's a great segue into our first official topic of the night.
I know, right?
These Olympics,
just cancel it at this point. Like, it just doesn't seem safe
at all
to continue. Like, I was skeptical, and everything we thought was gonna happen is happening.
Yeah. And this has been a hot topic in the Discord, as a matter of fact, over the past week as we get closer to the official start date of the 2021 Olympics. It just everything keeps seemingly getting worse. Conditions continue to deteriorate. Even the citizens of Tokyo are not happy with the idea of hosting the Olympics at this point.
I bet they're not. They're not requiring people to be vaccinated, which is
that's odd to me. Yeah, I would have thought that they would. When the NBA did the bubble, did they require the athletes to get vaccinated, or they just had to follow the strict COVID protocols that they had in place? I can't remember now.
The vaccine wasn't a thing when that started, so they were on like lockdown and quarantining. So that's why the bubble was so tight. It was literally we quarantined for 2 weeks before everybody could go in it, and everybody who's in here is stuck in here and can't leave, and vice versa. So if you're outside, you're not getting in. So that was the thing.
And let us know in the comments too, like where if you have an opinion about the Olympics and the start of it, do you think it should be canceled? Like, let us know in the comments what you think. I'm of the mind that LA is the next destination. It would have been the 2024 Olympics. And LA had already been selected because they select the next two when they select. So Tokyo and LA were selected at the same time. I would just postpone until 2024, let LA host in 2024, and then in the next go around in 28, bring it back to Tokyo and select another country. I would do it that way. I feel like that's the most logical thing to do at this point. Just let this pass, let the athletes be safe, because like right now it's starting to affect the athletes, and they already don't have fans in the stadium, so
it's too late to delay because they've already made the cardboard beds.
Yeah. Well, actually,
there.
I saw someone jumping on a bed.
That's hilarious.
Trying to prove like that the beds weren't easily collapsible. They made cardboard beds not because they didn't want people to sleep comfortably, but because they don't want the athletes to have sex. They want everyone to stay quarantined and stay in their own little area. So these little tiny skinny beds, they want them to only sleep there and not be with anybody. And I'm just trying to figure out when bed stop.
Yeah. There's an opportunity here for the Johnson & Johnson vaccine to team up with Trojan and do something.
That would be promoting it. I just feel like this would have the opposite effect. Like when you tell a teenager you can't do something, or not even teenagers, you tell anyone they can't.
That's just human nature.
They really want to do it, they're gonna be like, well, let me see. They are going to be doing it just because y'all made a decision to tell them that they can't.
Well, I especially Americans. I don't know. I can't speak for any other countries, but I know in America that is a common thing. That do not enter sign is like that's the worst thing that you can put up in some circumstances. Mm-hmm. It's like a try me button. But I feel so before we went live, I saw a tweet. Someone posted that the chairman or whoever who's in charge of the Olympic Committee over in Tokyo said that they are not beyond last minute cancellation or postponement at this point, even though they are right now in the late stages. It's not been taken off the table. And I feel like if they make that statement now, I think that we can expect to hear that in the coming days, possibly. I think if they would have said, something to the contrary, like, we're going to go ahead with this or what have you. But the fact that they've already said that it's not been ruled out means that it's probably a 40 or 50% chance right now that it could be canceled.
They need to just go ahead and do it at this point. I mean, imagine what would it even look like with all of the athletes who are getting COVID, who then have to drop out of the Olympics because of it.
Shoot, even beyond the Olympics, there's a lot of athletes. I mean, there's NBA athletes right now that I know of that got COVID and are having issues. Like there was a soccer player actually today that had some sort of heart issue. He's fine, but it was related to COVID because he caught COVID at some point in time. So like you're endangering the athlete at this point. And like the Olympics being what they are, it happens only like once every 4 years. Like not having an audience is way different for this type of event than, let's say, the NBA finals last year that were done in the bubble. The finals happen every year. Like as long as there's a season, as long as there's an NBA season, there will be finals unless something crazy happens like we saw. But the Olympics are a very, very, very like special thing. And I feel like you want as many people there as possible to witness this. Like that, you can't take that moment away from the athletes. Like I think it's just better suited for everyone to just, let's put this on pause. Let's rearrange all of this stuff, even if you have to delay the Winter Olympics, and put that in, adjust that as well. Like I don't know, because it's like the 2 years in between.
Yeah, they're not making sense at all.
just no sense. And we usually don't talk about this type of stuff on the show much, but I want to encourage anyone who is watching to get vaccinated. If you have not been vaccinated already, I do understand, especially to people of color, specifically Black people, I understand why we don't trust the health system, the government. I get it, but I have lost family to COVID. I have friends who are forever changed because of COVID. And I can tell you, they probably wish they had been vaccinated beforehand. You would rather deal with whatever, if anything, as of right now, nothing has happened to basically everybody who got vaccinated. So choose the vaccine and maybe something you don't know is going to happen, or COVID, and you're going to have some sort of effect long term, especially with this Delta variant, or die. Like, just get vaccinated. Every time I turn on the news, there's a story about a family member who died, and because they didn't believe in the vaccine, and then the whole entire family is going out and getting vaccinated because they lost a loved one. That didn't have to happen. That person could have gotten vaccinated and they would still be their mother, their father, whatever. They would be there for their children, their family, and now they're not. So
that boy
There's people
Steve,
who lost
what's happening?
relatives and still haven't been vaccinated.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's you have to be safe. That's at the end of the day. Like, if you don't want to get vaccinated, you have to also be mindful of everyone else too in the world that you may or may not encounter who have different viewpoints and ideas as you. So it's not you don't be selfish about it. Like, if you don't want to get vaccinated, then follow the COVID rules. Wear your mask, limit your exposure in public places. Like, we just got to continue to be safe, and we have no idea what this Delta variant could do. We had no idea the original strain was going to do what it did. So, like, you got to take all this stuff serious.
Also, unless you live on a farm and you growing your own food and you have no communication with the outside world, then you absolutely need to get vaccinated. If you have to go in a store to buy food, if you have to go to a doctor, if you have to leave your house and go anywhere where people are, get vaccinated. Like, please, you are not safe. Thank you, that boy Steve.
Yep, I agree. Push back. Just keep pushing. I mean, it's not worth it.
And I just checked, 22% of people in Japan are vaccinated. That's not enough. I'm sorry.
That's part of the issue, though. Like, that's it. They did not get vaccinated and I don't think the Japanese government pushed vaccinations like at the rate we have in America and in Europe. For whatever reason, I'm not sure. I don't know. I didn't look into the reasons why they didn't, but that is the fact of it. It was not a grand push for the citizens of Japan to get vaccinated. So all that has to be considered.
And I just want to say the United States is doing better, but on paper we are only 50% vaccinated, fully vaccinated at this point. So there were a lot of people who got first doses and never went back to get second doses. If you never got that second dose, you got to start over. I'm sorry. Yeah. You need to be fully vaccinated. Unless you got Johnson & Johnson, you need to go back and get that second dose. Actually, I do believe that if you waited too long, then you have to start over again and get both doses. I don't think you can just wait.
I think there's a certain. There's a certain time period that will pass where that first vaccination is null and void. I do believe, maybe not, but I do think I remember hearing something to that effect. But anyways, I think we've covered that.
Yeah, not to Olympic be a topic. Girl. If you vaccinated, congratulations, keep being great.
Exactly, and continue to be safe.
Also, those who have severe allergies, because that is still a thing. I do have family members that are just straight up allergic to everything. Some have been cleared for the vaccine and some have not. If you are one of those people, just stay away from everybody. Just like I said, find a way if possible. Yeah. So
Yeah.
sorry, y'all.
I mean, and trust your doctor. If you have a doctor, you have a physician, primary, whoever your primary physician is, get their opinion. Let them guide you. Let them guide you. Okay, now Black Widow.
Mutations.
What is this? What is this stuff? What's this stuff?
Yeah,
Black Widow
survival
is the most pirated film of the pandemic.
That's no surprises. Not surprised.
It's not surprising at all. But I will honestly say, at first, I was surprised by the box office numbers. The first weekend, what did it make? 80 million
Domestically, yeah.
And
then like 100. Was it? Did it cross 100? I think it crossed 100 international.
And then what was it? This weekend, it was completely demolished by Space Jam. And that's not a knock to Space Jam, because Space Jam was supposed to do well.
Did y'all see that Space Jam?
I'll be watching it tomorrow.
I haven't seen it yet. I do want to watch it, though. I do want to watch it.
I do believe it's on HBO Max. I'll be watching it tomorrow, and I'll let you know.
Oh, it's on HBO Max. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey.
So let's see what Box Office Mojo had Black Widow at 25.8 million.
Second weekend.
The second weekend, only 25.8. Space Jam made 31 million, and that's not good. Like, it should have held up at least close to the previous weekend's numbers. And the reason it hasn't is because, so can I just ask, I originally thought the movie was supposed to be a theater exclusive. When did they change it to theater and premiere access? Because they made that switch kind of last minute.
It was last month. And I can't remember why they made that change. I'm not sure if it was due to, I don't know. I can't remember. I'm not even gonna speculate on why, but it did happen last month. It was June.
Is premiere access included in that first weekend number?
No, so that's only box office.
Number.
Premiere access, I believe it made $60 million the first weekend it came out. I don't know what people are paying for it now, but it made $60 million. So that is a very big number as far as for what it made. But I feel like premiere access might have stunted it, because not only are people spending less money on tickets because of premiere access, but now if you can get it on Disney Plus, it's going to be easy to pirate and people can watch it anywhere. You could probably type watch Black Widow online free, like we all used to do, and watch this movie right now.
Yes, I can say yes, other movies have had a huge drop off, exponential drop off. It's not alone in this. That's for sure. But most movies didn't have the first week numbers that Black Widow had either. So that's really where the exception is. But no, none of the movies have had tremendous success in the box office. And normally what you see week over week throughout a movie's lifespan in the theater, it's a 60% drop off every week from the opening weekend. That's the average. Now, some movies fare better, some fare way less. You know, that's where the quality and word of mouth begin to help or hurt the movie. But I mean, also too, the Disney Plus, the premiere access, it definitely does cut into a lot of the profit margin for the movie, because to your point, Imani, it's, you know, I can get a family. We did this, like, we purchased one premiere access and we had the family come over. We had like what, at least 10 people, 10 or 12 people watching it with us when we saw Black Widow. So, you know, $30 price point, but you know, you split that 10 ways for a $15 ticket. Like, yeah, of course,
Lost a lot of money.
They lost a lot of money at the box office.
I just checked with the current numbers for Black Widow, because it's been pirated so much. The Fast 9 movie might make more money domestically because of how much this film is being pirated.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, because that doesn't have a premiere access thing. So I mean, the way that they've been handling the premiere access anyway, I don't feel like it's advantageous to the point. HBO Max, not sure how that's faring. I'd like to see how Space Jam does. What at the end? Well, one at the end of this, when did it come out?
HGM
over the
just
weekend. Friday, I want to say. Right?
Friday.
Thursday.
So yeah, we'll see what the week numbers are this Friday, and then like by next Friday, what the second week numbers really are looking like for that movie. Because with it being on HBO Max, you got to think that's probably cutting into its budget or into its profit as well.
That boy Steve, Mortal Kombat made under 50 million domestically. But I wouldn't say that's bad for an HBO Max release. The only movie that performed well, even though it was released on HBO Max, was Godzilla vs. Kong. A lot of people went to the theater to see that. So after seeing it, though,
trash.
I wouldn't say it's trash, but I could have watched it on HBO Max and house and just fine.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Like, Godzilla, Kong, Fast and Furious, those are definitely box office franchises. Like, you're most people, I think the average viewer is going to go to the theater to watch those movies, and then that's probably the first and last time they watch the movie. They're probably not going to buy the DVD, or maybe they might watch it on the streaming service once it hits the platform. But I think everyone outside of the hardcore fan base is, that's going to be their only viewing of certain properties. Certain properties just, they thrive in the box office more so than others. Like Marvel can recoup that loss, and all the losses really that they've taken throughout COVID because of just the lore, the fan base, and everything that they've created over the last 20 years. Same with Star Wars, same with DC. At some point, once DC figures out what it's going to do, they can make up for a lot of that stuff. They can recoup that because the fandom extends outside of the box office. Like, there's a much more to those franchises than what we see on the movies, and that's what keeps everything thriving and keeps everything moving. So it's they've got their own ecosystems that will help mitigate any of the losses that they took during COVID. But some of these other franchises are probably, might be in a little bit of a pickle.
COVID aside, I'm still blaming any poor performance of Black Widow on Marvel for releasing this film too late. It's just y'all's fault. This movie should have came out years ago. Y'all didn't believe we wanted it, and now it's not performing well. And it's not because it's woman. It's because y'all didn't give us the movie when we needed it. I didn't mean to shake the computer, y'all. I'm just saying. This movie should have came out after Civil War when it takes place, and it would have done exponentially better. So do better, Marvel.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I mean, the only thing that really would have changed was the end credit scene. That'd been the only thing really that would have changed.
Right.
It would have been a completely different end credit scene, completely different setup. But
I wonder what the end credit scene would have been.
What came out?
I would imagine it'd just be setting up the sequel for the most part. It would, so the end game stuff wouldn't have been in there because there was a mid credit scene that would have stayed. The end credit scene though, because that second credit, that probably would not have been in there at all, and I think that's probably been the only change.
Maybe they show a funeral, but we don't get to see who's at the funeral. We just know there's a funeral, so we know somebody's gonna die.
Yeah, well, yeah, it depends on when it. If it came out after Civil War, I'd find that hard to. That'd be wild if they put a funeral scene in there right after Civil War, because that's before Infinity War.
That is before Infinity War.
Yeah, so it's like that's way too much of a spoiler. Like, that's a little risky, but I mean, maybe the meeting with Contessa, maybe that happens, but we have no context for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe she and I keep forgetting Florence Pugh's character.
Pew, pew.
Where was Black Widow in Endgame? When do we see her for the first time?
In the beginning, she's running stuff. She's trying to hold it together after 5 years.
Endgame. Did I say Infinity War or Endgame? I meant Infinity War. Where was she when the movie starts?
She was stateside, I want to say. No, she wasn't.
No, they were still on the run.
They were on the run.
They were
She was
still on the
with
run.
Rodri.
Oh,
Captain
because
America.
remember, yeah, it's so that okay. So
They
that
opened with
scene,
them fighting somebody. And somebody blew up
Got you. So
in the
then,
market. Yeah.
didn't they just show up? They were because
Yeah, they
Vision,
Wanda,
yeah, Vision and Wanda were in a fight. They were in the middle of a fight, and then Cap and Black Widow just show up and save them.
No, that wasn't the first time. The first was them. Oh, and I'm
That
thinking
was
Civil
Infinity
War.
War.
I'm thinking Civil War.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because this,
Infinity War.
yeah,
They just pulled up with.
yeah, they just pulled up.
Yeah.
They were just right. I guess right place, right time. Nobody questioned it. It just happened, and we were like, yeah.
it could have ended with Nick Fury sending her a message or something saying like Cap needs you or get to wherever. Something. They could have figured out something to get us going for the next movie because we knew
It could have been the Red Room. Something with the Red Room.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
I'm still bothered by the fact that the Red Room got like shut down so quickly. Like they could have kept that going. They wrapped this all up in one movie just to give us something, and that was going to be it. They could have given us.
Oh, I remember. Okay, so that mid credit scene, Black Widow was her plug and her having that conversation. He got her the Quinjet, and then she flies off. So it would have been the perfect end credit scene after Civil War because they're all detained. And so it would have been implied that she's the one that's going to go and get them out of the Supermax, the government Supermax that's out in the ocean.
Something, anything would have been better than giving us this movie this year. Excuse me, my water went down the wrong pipe.
Oh.
Y'all ain't see that?
Oh man,
I don't miss. Thank you, Steve. That boy, Steve.
That's great. Okay.
These Emmy nominations next.
Yeah. So
who's nominated? What's up? What's happening?
Well, I gotta say, because I hinted at this last week. It was a spoiler, so I may as well like continue with that. But that whole Don Cheadle thing,
Cheadle, no sense.
It makes absolutely no sense. I'm sorry. It just he got nominated for best guest appearance in a drama series, and I'm like, what?
And it's for his performance in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He was in the show for 5 minutes, y'all, in the beginning.
If that.
What?
And he got a nomination.
Why is that even an award? Best guest appearance.
Exactly. That's the first question, right?
I mean,
and then it's like
for more notable appearances. Like, I'm wondering if it's for the hype of the actor, but I personally think it would have been better served for the gentleman who played Isaiah Bradley.
Exactly.
Like, he had a very impactful 2 scenes. He was on twice. The first
agenda.
He had the better guest appearance.
That's exactly what it is.
But at the same time, are you telling me that Falcon and the Winter Soldier was the best drama that came out last year? Is that a top 5 drama? Because I have a hard time wrapping my brain around that. I liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but as a drama,
so off camera,
it kind of was a drama. It kind of was a drama.
Think about all of the other TV shows that come out in the year. Like that's the only one that they could have found a best guest appearance for. Like that show, like. I'm not knocking. And Don Cheadle even commented on social, like, yeah, I don't even understand how I got this nomination. Like, I'm not knocking him or his performance or at all. That's not it. It's just like, this feels so weird that he got that nomination. Nah, it's like, I just feel that there had to be a better guest appearance and a more bona fide drama than Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's all.
So we spoke a little bit about how just although Disney Plus has less original content than the other streaming platforms, that they are just wildly outperforming. They bought that. There's no other way. Now, that being said, I still think it should have gone to the gentleman who played Isaiah Bradley. But if they didn't want to give it to him, then they just bought the nomination for Don Cheadle, because that don't make no sense. I'm pretty sure Don Cheadle has done other better performances last year.
Yeah, also. Carl Lumbly. Carl Lumbly is the actor who played Isaiah Bradley. But yes, Carl Lumbly definitely deserved. If anyone in that show deserved that best guest appearance nomination, it was him. Absolutely, hands down.
I have another complaint. Although we weren't expecting Lovecraft Country to get a second season, we were also really upset when they officially announced that it wasn't going to get a second season. But then for Lovecraft Country to have this many nominations, and HBO was just like, I'm hurt. Like, I think they got 18 nominations.
Yeah, 18. Yes, it is 18 nominations.
18 nominations and just no chance at all. That kind of stinks.
No explanation. Did they give an explanation? What's the reason?
I mean, Misha Green said she hadn't even said what the explanation was or reason. So I don't think there was one.
So I think HBO, because they've been doing this now where HBO was really loving the limited series or the mini series, the 6 to 10 episodes, and that's it. I think it was only ever supposed to be this, but they had hopes for something else, and HBO was like, no, we only wanted one season, and that's what we're sticking to.
Interessante.
Ducky Momo, I don't even know if he was nominated. Let me check.
I thought I saw somebody mention the finals in here. Who said this?
I saw it.
Hey man, Suns are taking Game 6. That's my prediction. Suns taking Game 6. Chris Paul's gonna hit the winning shot.
Oh, that's taking it far, man. I wouldn't go that far. I have them winning in 7. The Suns. I'll go. That's as bold as a prediction I'll make.
So Momo, guest actor in a drama series, The Mandalorian, got 2 nominations, and that was for Timothy Olyphant and for Carl Weathers. Mark Hamill was not nominated.
Yeah, that was Mark Hamill getting a nomination would have been more bizarre than Don Cheadle's.
I disagree. At least his role was more impactful.
That was not him though.
Facts. Yeah,
it's not him.
I kind of read,
and it's not even an actor. They had a whole. Okay, but nominate that guy.
Yeah, that's how I read that guy. Placeholder Mark Hamill.
Okay, all right.
You wrong, but at least it was more impactful. Like, nobody talked about seeing Don Cheadle in Falcon and the Winter Soldier because we assumed we were going to see him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
How would you do that though? Because that was Mark Hamill's image and likeness.
Yeah, I mean, he got credited for it, but it's not his.
Well, if he got credited for it, then he would.
But that's still like he wasn't there physically acting. Like, he was there. He did offer and lend his advice and expertise to the actor who's
the way of the Jedi.
Yeah, who did the stand-in for him. But it's I don't know. It's still bizarre, and I think Mark Hamill would have thought it was bizarre as well. Like, he would have appreciated it though, but same as Don Cheadle. But it's like, you could have found someone who actually did it. Like Timothy Olyphant, that's a good pick. Carl Weathers, is that really a guest? He was like a co-star, I thought, but I don't know. What are they? I don't know. How are they qualifying guest appearance?
I'm gonna look that up
because he's definitely a co-star.
But to answer Ducky Momo's question, he says, his statement, I think HBO is looking for Sopranos or Game of Thrones. If it's not a home run, they're moving on. I feel like although Game of Thrones was absolutely a moment, there were a lot of people who were not watching that second season. The first season. The second season of Game of Thrones was way hyper than the first season. So to have Lovecraft Country perform this well and then not even give it a second season, which is where it's really going to catch on even more. That's just not fair. And I don't even want to look up the numbers, but I'm sure the first season of Sopranos wasn't as impactful as the second, third, or fourth. It just like I've never hear people say, dang, that first season was the one. I've never heard that.
The first season of Sopranos was pretty big. It was a big thing.
I was about to say it never happens in the first season. It's rare that it happens in the first season. Like it's the hype at the end of season one that typically gets people invested in the second season. And there was a lot of hype, at least in my sphere, for season 2 of Lovecraft Country, especially after its conclusion. Like everyone who was watching it, there was a lot of buzz around the series. They didn't allow this thing to mature into something. Like they needed to at least give it a second season. Like now, if the second season fell short, like, okay, maybe you consider moving on. I can see that. But like, you know, if the second season had underperformed the first season, then there's valid, in my opinion, justification if they wanted to cancel and not move on with a season 3. But to end after season 1, when the showrunner has at least an outline, or I don't know how far along in the writing process she was for season 2, but if they're interested, what do you got to lose?
All right.
What do you have on the menu? Like you really think that this Game of Thrones prequel is going to be like that? Like, because I got news for you. There's not much hype and anticipation for that Game of Thrones prequel after season 8. In its conclusion, like all the buzz and hype and anticipation for that series has died.
All right, I'm still looking for the numbers for Lovecraft Country, but for The Sopranos, the season premiere of series premiere got 3.4 million views. The season finale of season 1 got 5.2 million views. The season premiere of season 2 got 7.6 million views, and the finale got 8.9. And from there, every season went up until they hit season 5. Things started to go back down. As for season 6, it was a little iffy. People weren't too happy. But that first season, it gave it a taste. But the second season was twice as big. So it's not fair. And I'm sure with streaming and stuff, way more people watch the first season of Lovecraft Country than watch The Sopranos. But that's just because now we can go back and watch it whenever we want to.
Yeah, and Game of Thrones was the same way. Like it built a fan base, and it took out 3. I was outside of the loop, and it was about season 4 or 5 that I started to hear about Game of Thrones. That's when I started watching. It was like season 4 or 5 is when I picked it up. So it's rare that any series has a mass following at the first season unless it's an already established property. Like Mandalorian, for instance, because it's a Star Wars property, of course the season 1, as long as the season 1 delivered on fan expectations, it was going to have a great run in that first season, and season 2 just had to deliver, which it did. But that's one of those probably rare exceptions. And I would say that the Marvel stuff, Loki, for instance, had the MCU not happened, Loki would not have been as popular as it was. Like, just imagine that show coming out without any of the Marvel movies. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, you got to allow time for fan bases to build, and it's not going to happen in one season.
Also,
Rome wasn't built overnight, as people love to say.
I also have to think about, we do have to consider the topic of Lovecraft Country. There's a large demographic of people in this country who do not want to watch that. There are people fighting for the truth about African American history to not be told. So that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if that has something to do with it. I mean, we don't talk about that stuff too much on the show, and maybe we have to have that kind of conversation. But with everything that's going on now with critical race theory, and instead of it being just theories, they're applying it onto facts, and not wanting to teach our history in school and things like that, that can have a significant impact to Lovecraft Country.
Well, I think Misha Green should, if HBO is not going to reconsider bringing season 2, I think she should rework her treatment for season 2 and develop an original, an IP, Netflix. And take it to someone else. Because I mean, it's going to take off, and I think that she's been in the industry long enough to know like how to work that, and I don't think she should give up on it. I know she knows the fan support is there, like she knows it's there. It's clear and evident if you go on social media. The key is for her, like, hey, come back again. We got these nominations, especially after, let's see what happens after the Emmys, how many awards it actually wins. Go back to HBO, say, hey, are you sure you don't want to do season 2? And then they say, nope, we're moving on. Rework that script, come up with an IP, take it to and shop it. Shop it. Because I'm pretty sure someone like I'm pretty sure Amazon Prime wouldn't have a problem picking it up. I'm pretty sure HBO Max. Oh no, it wasn't HBO Max. Yeah, Netflix would definitely probably consider picking it up because they're in a situation where they're really competing a lot with Disney Plus more than they probably anticipated.
I'm wondering if the budget of Lovecraft Country was so wild that that's where HBO was like, it's just not worth it.
That's what I remember hearing about it not being renewed for season 2 was the budget.
I mean, what was it like per episode?
That's an easy excuse in my opinion.
I'm trying to find it and I can't.
Because if it was in that $8 to $10 million per episode range, that's like average now for most TV shows. So I mean, unless it was like $15+ million per episode, which I don't see that being the case.
How much is Mando per episode?
10 million.
There's no way it could have been more than Mando.
It's possible because they, a lot of Mando was shot on Stagecraft. Yeah, it was shot on Stagecraft, so that really helped them trim the budget. Because like if that was like, see, Andor has a bigger budget than Mando does, but it's shooting on sets and it's doing like a lot of on-site filming. So that really kind of balloons the budget a bit.
A lot more people pay for more material.
Right. A lot more moving pieces involved. But, it's those sets were kind of small. And I feel like it felt like it was in that $10 to $12 million range, in my opinion, based on each episode, the production value of each episode. So, I mean, and there's ways around it. They don't have to travel as much if they, if you want to get around and reuse some of the sets, like figure out ways to stay on a stage more so than before.
I'm not seeing.
I appreciate that comment.
Cool Daddy Yoda.
Oh, that's funny. Is that a lot of love or a lot of crap?
I'm screaming. I'm not seeing the budget.
I can hear him saying that.
I see the last season of Game of Thrones was costing them $15 million.
Yeah, that's not like out of. That's what I'm saying. It's not really.
Where'd that money go? Because that first, what was that episode where we couldn't see anything on the screen?
I
thought my TV was broke. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
I'm not gonna hold you. If you watch that completely, the room got to be dark, no light. You got to put your phone brightness all the way down. It's easy, but if there's any light on, you can't see nothing.
It's literally the biggest battle in the franchise,
and you can't see it.
It's like,
I disagree.
Somebody did that was a cruel joke. That was
what I'm saying. Joke. Like, this is literally what this entire show is building up for, and we can't see it
since episode 1.
I felt like
it's not the best battle that happened in the show. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it is exactly what the show was building up for. We've been anticipating the Battle of the White Walkers since season 1,
episode 1. Like,
I was just tight. The battle lasted 1 episode. Like I figured they would drag it out. They killed him in 1 episode.
I wasn't mad about that. The whole episode is the battle. Cool.
You can't see it.
Can I see it?
You can't see it. Like, that's the thing. That's the killer right there. Like, you can't see it. And then it literally went downhill from there.
Well, the Arya moment was the greatest moment of that season.
Bruh, that was like a game winner. Like, the reaction, the online reaction of everyone reacting to that moment was like, that's like watching somebody hit a game winning shot. Yeah. That's how people reacted to it.
And from that moment, it was all downhill.
After that, it was like, whew. Oh man.
The uncle made a good point. Misha Green did sign a multi-million deal with Apple, so I would not be surprised if
forgot about
on the table Apple TV. But I will say this: if it goes to Apple TV, it's going to die there because who's watching Apple TV?
Not I.
Apple TV might be the least promoted.
Everyone who has a subscription to the Cult of Apple.
The Code of Apple can
the Cult.
Rocks.
That's
the
free.
Cult of Apple. I have no idea. I don't know. I just know that's a website and that's like where everyone reviews Apple products. And
nah, you still gotta pay for Apple TV Plus.
No. I'm saying the website. There's a website where they review Apple products. It's called the Cult of Apple. Those people, all those people, I guarantee you have Apple Plus or whatever. I guess it's called Apple Plus.
What is this? Green Bear, you watched. What did you watch 3-4 times?
The battle.
You watched the battle?
Yeah.
The battle?
You watched it, but did you see the battle? I know you say you watched it 3-4 times, but did you see
That's the battle or is that the whole season? What I need specifics.
I think just watched the battle 4 times.
But just for all of mankind, that show is fire. Game of Thrones?
No, that's Apple Plus. That's TV. Apple Plus show. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. Every single one of the trailers that I saw for the IPs on Apple Plus for those shows looked good. Like they look like they put a lot of money into it. Of course they did. It's Apple, but it's not. I'm not gonna get a subscription.
That show with Jason Momoa where everybody is blind and this lady be touching herself in order
blind?
To God. That's not.
Is that what that's about?
So basically, everybody is blind. Well, I don't want to give.
She blind. She touched herself to see God. That's some Zora Neale Hurston storytelling right there.
She's like a shaman or something, but the only way she could communicate with God is to climax. And I'm just watching like.
Hey, this is like ancient Greek mythology. Like this is how you have to communicate with Zeus. I'm pretty sure.
That's how it felt watching it.
This is the Pythagorean theorem.
The Lord is
Pythagoras theorem. There are no straight lines.
Oh man, that's what they need. They gotta have.
I'm sorry. So that was my first introduction to Apple TV, and I was like, nah, I don't need this. I can't.
What that man said. It's the science that Pythagoras was searching for, bro. That takes me out every time, dog.
Green Bear, everybody quiet because you're the only one on Apple TV Plus. I'm sorry. It's just
man. Now. Yeah, I don't have.
I was on it for a minute and that's it.
He said the show. Green Bear said the show was whack. So the blind people show was whack.
It's the name of the show is called C. Now that being said, it's a drama, but there's some comedy in there. So you're not feeling the way they want you to feel watching the show, and they messed up on that. I couldn't. I only got in one season. I don't know how many seasons there are. I don't think I finished the season that I saw. But it did not capture me. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. No.
I have a free subscription to it too because I have an iPhone, or maybe it's because we have it through Verizon. I don't know what the deal is, but they have a trial period for, you get a certain amount of time for free. I saw it, still not interested. Still not interested. Just like, nope. Mm-mm.
I am an M. Night Shyamalan fan, but I wasn't too excited to see his show on there. I'm way more excited to see Old, which I think comes out this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to get to see it this weekend, but I do want to see it. But the show Old is the movie where the people go to the beach and it makes them age real quick.
They age in like every year is like 10 minutes or something.
Something like these kids showed up as
it's a real classic M. Night Shyamalan story, dog. Yeah. I'm actually
like Shyamalan is hit or miss. He
Of
either hit
course.
or miss.
I
It's
am a
wild. That's the
defender.
thing. Like you just like you hear the plot and you're like, yo, what?
If he
I'm
can
yeah.
make signs, he can make another good movie. We just got to give him the chance. Also, a sneaky movie he had that was good. What? Don't JB and whatever you're about to say. Just please don't do it.
But
He
the
had a
sneaky
movie.
links.
A sneaky movie. He didn't put his name on it. It was The Visit, the horror movie where the kids go to their grandparents' house for the week. It was top tier horror film that came out whatever year it came out, and I didn't know it was him, and I was scared in my house. Hold on, let me look for it.
Dang,
No,
grandma house is sacred.
Ducky. That is an understatement. That last Airbender film he made is like a disgrace to cinema. It's not even his worst. It's the worst. It's one of the worst things that's ever happened in cinematic history, and we just want to forget it and like we just pretend it didn't happen.
Thank you. It didn't happen.
It just didn't happen.
What movie?
It's one of those. It's a bad nightmare. That's what that is.
What movie?
M. Nightmare Shyamalan.
Is that my computer making that noise? It is. Sorry.
Wow.
Look, no, it's just a parody of Last Airbender, and it just flopped. You know, that's what it was. He wasn't trying to make he was trying to parody Last Airbender. It was really bad, and we just moved on.
Oh, I remember y'all sharing a clip of that. It was like a fight scene.
Bro, it's up there with that Dragon Ball Z Evolution film. Like not up there, it's down there with that. Wherever you put that movie, it's right there next to it. They share they share an apartment together down at the bottom of worst films of all time.
In the basement.
Down there, deep.
Down.
Oh man.
What did this conversation start as?
I have no idea. We were talking about the Emmys, and
conversation started as the Emmy nomination, and we just rode that way.
Yeah, and now we're talking about things that like really messed up, which can actually segue into our next topic of the DCEU,
which
I'm
is
pulling it up right now. The movie schedule. The upcoming movie schedule for the DCEU. The Suicide Squad is releasing on August 6th.
Oh, that's not out?
No, not yet.
People have been watching it though. Press has already started watching.
I'm expecting this movie to be better than the last one. That's just all.
It would be kind of hard to make it worse, but it also isn't past. You can't put it past DC to make a worse film than that movie.
Okay, real quick, Ducky Momo, that movie is not that bad. Okay, just we out here. It's a dope concept, all right? Humans out here destroying the planet, and the planets are like, you know what? We gotta do something about this. That's not his worst movie. I'm sorry, but Lady in the Water, where there was the dude in the apartment complex that only worked out one arm, and at the end he was supposed to be.
What was that from Self Love?
No, no. The guy only worked out one arm. I don't remember what the reason was. And
Rub-a-dub-dub.
Self-love was not the reason, but
he was using a shake weight with one hand.
Hold on,
he
let me
wait for that Johnson vaccine.
We was just promoting vaccinations and stuff.
Oh man.
All right, Lady in the Water, guy with big arm. Let me see if I can see it.
Oh man. Hey, that's like that Scary Movie 2. That man. That's like one of the best comedic scenes in movie history. That whole roast session that they had going back and forth with each other. Oh man, that movie is great.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we got to get that comedy session at some point. We got to work that into that schedule.
Oh, yes, we do. That's we do definitely. Comedy.
This was the man with the big arm. He only worked out one arm. I don't remember what
is this? What is this? Half the can of the spinach.
This was him in the movie the whole time, but it was only the one arm. It was mad swole.
Oh, that's the dude from what's that movie that That movie with Jennifer Love Hewitt. Name of that. It was like the last party of high school. It was like a funny movie, funny like slapstick humor almost. I forget.
Like the big teen movie joints or like Scary Movie 3?
Not like Big Teen. It was a teen type of movie. They were like this guy was obsessed with this girl and he was gonna confess his love to her at this party. Classic movie though.
Listen,
he was one of the three jocks.
Look it up. Green Bear.
Can't hardly wait. That's it. Yeah, Green Bear. You know what's up. Can't hardly wait.
I'm scared to look it up. Green Bear. It's not his worst movie. Okay, it's worth watching. It's
what The Happening.
Yes, The Happening. Nothing is worse than the freaking.
Airbender takes the cake. I watched The Happening.
The Happening had John Leguizamo in.
The problem with The Happening is it's just bizarre, right? Like Airbender, he just got everything wrong. Like you just took a franchise that's established, people have expectations for it, they know how stuff is supposed to work, how it's supposed to look on screen, and you just
he didn't watch any of the seasons, did he?
He ain't watching nothing.
Okay. Do we want to rank them?
It's like somebody told him what Last Airbender was about, and then he made the movie based off of that.
All right, so we got Airbender at the bottom. I'm putting Lady in the Water there. Then, what's the movie where it was like the olden times and it was really in the middle of Central Park and the people didn't know they lived there?
Oh, The Village?
The Village.
What? Hold up, pause. What?
You never seen The Village?
With not Bruce Willis, Nicolas Cage?
No,
that's
The
different.
That's the Wicker Man.
Yeah.
The Village is a movie and what you think is like the 1800s. It's feeling kind of Salem-ish, but there are these like monster things that are attacking people. But by the end of the movie, you find out that these
you got to put air quotes around monster things.
They in the middle of Central Park in like the year 2005, and they didn't know.
But like modern society is still up and running.
Yes.
Like the
live
buses,
and thriving,
like transits are going.
It's full on New York.
Lady breaks out of the woods and there's cars driving by.
What?
Full on traffic.
Yes.
That's that.
So I guess the logic was supposed to be that the spoilers. Y'all probably don't care. I don't care that y'all go watch the movie anyway. Yeah. You'll waste your time watching it. But the monsters kept them basically going too far out. So they couldn't interact or hear with the outside world.
They never saw a plane. They didn't hear a plane.
Hey, man, listen.
Are you allowed to drive a plane over Central Park?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can't drive one, but you can probably fly one.
You don't hear no traffic?
No. So I'm saying Central Park. I don't know exactly where it was, but they were like in a park in the United States.
They were in real time. And it was 2005. It was a modern... It wasn't a post-apocalyptic world. It wasn't none of that. They were living in society, and somehow, some way.
Hey man, he has a great agent,
right?
But I don't want them to stop. So please keep supporting M. Night Shyamalan. Go see these movies. The movie Old, I'm confident it's going to be good. Okay,
Old looks like it could be. It has potential.
I'm not watching that.
It has potential.
He does. I was about to say he does better at the horror movies, but I just talked shit about The Village. Excuse my language.
Nah,
so no,
he does good crazy movies because he does do horror. Like none of his horror movies are actually scary.
Yeah, Signs was the best movie. That was his breakthrough movie.
Hey yo, you know what? You know what though? I'm not gonna. He might hear me out, y'all. Hear me out on this. Like he might actually be a great person to like do Twilight Zone.
I don't disagree with that.
Do a Twilight Zone reboot because that's the kind of sort of where he like it's not horror, right? Like, but he creates these odd scenarios that are plausible, and that's where the scare is. That's the fear.
Are they though? Are they?
I mean, yeah, if executed right, like the Village could have just been executed better. It's there, but he needs other people. He needs other voices in the writer's room.
Yes, where he messes up is his little twist, because every movie has a twist. His twist, sometimes he takes it too far. Like Signs had the perfect twist. Like the little girl leaving the water everywhere, and that's all they needed to fight the aliens. Is spoiler, that movie came out forever ago. Sorry, y'all. Like that was the perfect twist. But The Village, the twist was they didn't know they was living in the middle of a park in 2005. We took it too far. Like,
well,
the dude with the big arm was like the savior and her protector. Stupid.
I mean, Split and Unbreakable too, though. Those are like.
Oh, I forgot he did Unbreakable. I liked Unbreakable.
Yeah, that's him too. Like he got
Split
sometimes
he hit and miss.
He's hit and miss, man. He's never does that middle ground.
But the signs twist didn't really make sense when you think about it. You had an advanced species go to a planet that's majority your weakness.
So if you don't think about that, the movie is great. So let's not talk about it. Let's just keep it moving.
Hey, but you know
that.
You know what's great though was the fact they couldn't open doors.
That
was great, bro. I bust out laughing, bro. I was crying laughing at that.
Well,
Glass wasn't good. I didn't enjoy Glass.
I think he got that wrong, because they put all of the boards up on the house thinking it was going to keep them safe, and it didn't. So, like, that's where he messed up. He was just stuck inside this one room. But other than that,
they didn't know how to open the door. That was great. Oh man, that was great.
Where was it? I saw it. Ducky Momo said he saw everything except The Visit. The Visit is very good. Like, I didn't spoil that one for y'all today. Go watch The Visit. It's a horror film. These kids go to visit their grandparents for a week. It's lit. And I didn't realize him to the end. I feel like because The Visit was probably his first movie to come out after, like, that came out, I believe, before Split. So that was like after he'd had them bad movies back to back and everybody was mad at him. So he snuck that one in there and didn't say nothing.
Why he do Grandma House like that?
The movie was good. The movie.
Grandma House, man. Sacred, man.
Hey, man, it's Grandma House, you know? All right, we're going to talk about DC now?
Yes.
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
Hey, we tried to segue and still got drug back into this.
All right. So, The Suicide Squad, is going to release August 6, 2021. And I do believe that'll be in theaters and HBO Max. Then so after we get this movie this year, we're not going to have any DC films until next spring, because The Batman starring Robert Pattinson is going to come out on March 4th, 2022.
Yes, that's going to be the best movie they put out.
Absolutely, because everything else is connected to the not the Snyderverse, the Whedon cut, which nobody likes. So they're just going to keep all the rest of these movies I'm about to name are related to the Joss Whedon cut. They're just ignoring the Justice League movie that came out during COVID. So Black Adam is supposed to release July 29th, 2022. They have released some clips that is currently filming.
That has potential.
Yeah.
The Flash. I don't think these movies are going to be bad. I just don't think they're not going to be what they could be if they continue to work with that.
They'll be underwhelming.
Yeah. Okay. I guess because I think
Flash the same Flash.
Yeah, Ezra Miller is still playing. He's still playing Flash.
Okay, that whole situation that happened with him.
They're doing Flashpoint. So
they acted like it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Oh, they did a Flashpoint on it. Okay.
No, the movie is the Flashpoint.
I know. I mean, on his life decisions.
Oh, that too. Yes. Apparently, they just let it water under the bridge. Let it be water under the bridge. But yeah, hey. So, and then continue.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, I think these movies, we can expect them to be good. I would hope DC would have learned a little bit of a lesson, so the movies will be better than Justice League, but I just think they might not be as great as they could with continuing the Zack Snyder storyline. But anyway, The Flash releasing November 4th, 2022, currently filming. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom currently filming. That's coming out December 16th, 2022. Shazam! Fury of the Gods, which we've also seen some clips. They're filming that now. It's going to release June 2nd, 2023. And the amount of time it's taking us to get like to 2023, Marvel is going to have released like 17 films and shows. And then Wonder Woman 3 is to be possibly sometime in 2023. All I know is that movie better outperform 1984 because I'm still upset about that. And then an untitled Superman reboot is in the works. So we don't have dates for anything else. There are other stories in development, like a Zatanna, Blue Beetle, Batgirl, Black Hawk, an untitled Jared Leto Joker movie. I don't know. Nobody want that.
Come on now. I'm tired. I'm so tired of Joker. Like, please.
Why did he get his own movie though? Like, oh my goodness. I don't understand.
I do believe that there may be. So I was only talking about the DCEU. I do believe there is another Joker film in the works, including Joaquin Phoenix, but of course that's not going to be included in DCEU. That being said, I'm surprised that they are saying that the Batman, the movie starring Robert Pattinson, is going to be a part of the DCEU somehow, but I don't know how. And then there's no plans for a sequel and everything that I'm reading. So, yeah.
Well, I don't know. So Suicide Squad is going to be what it is. I have no expectations for Suicide. It's going to be Suicide Squad. Black Adam has potential because The Rock is in it, and I don't see him going into a movie without having a lot of say in what happens. So it will be his movie, which means that bodes well for it. The Batman movie, of course, we already seen the trailer for it. It looks great. It looks like it's going to be exceptional. Wonder Woman has a really low bar to beat at this point. I have no idea about Aquaman. I'm not really that hype about it. And primarily because I feel like the Zack Snyder direction for Wonder Woman, for Aquaman, and Superman too, and Black Adam as well. Like, I think it would have been so much better because it would have been more mythic. It would have been more epic. Not to say you need to do 4 hour. I definitely don't want to see each of these movies a 4 hour feature, but it's that tone and the pacing and the sequencing of it all that made it work, that made it different, that made it its own thing. And the Flash really has a really uphill battle to beat because they're doing Flashpoint in the Flash. You've also got the issue with Ezra Miller and his antics behind the scenes. But Loki, like, I can't see that Flash movie being better than Loki, and that's what it's gonna have to beat, because Loki is basically what the Flash is in Flashpoint is going to do. And then, like, you've also got
show or a movie?
What? Flash? It's a movie. It's a film, but it's basically the same plot. It's dealing with multiple timelines, multiple multiverses, all that jazz. So, Multiverse of it's competing against Loki, Multiverse of Madness, Quantum Mania, and Spider-Man No Way Home. And I just don't think it has any type of chance of topping or piquing the interest of anyone.
The only way they do it, if they make it uniquely its own. Like, it needs to be a true Flash story, like the Speed Force. We need to be in the Speed Force, man.
Yeah, but who's directing it? Like you know what I'm saying? Like, it's supposed to be it's supposed to, from what I understand, it's supposed to reset the DCEU. But reset it to what? Like, what's it?
So he probably goes back in time, changes something, and that resets everything. I mean, that's what happened in the show, in the Flash show.
Yeah, and they're doing that with the movie, and I think that the TV version of the Flash is rumored to make an appearance in there as well. Multiple versions of Batman, multiple versions of Superman, possibly, and everything. I don't know. So I don't know how all this stuff is connecting. There's a lot of rumors circulating around the multiverse that DC is trying to establish, or Warner Brothers is trying to establish, the one that they talked about at the DC Fandom last year. Was that last year? Yeah, that was last year. But Flashpoint is supposed to be the foundation for the multiverse stuff. So, which is where there's some more confusion, as we're continuing with these current stories with these current characters. We're also introducing new versions of characters. Does this tie all of these together? Does this show us how this multiverse and these different versions of these characters work together in this multiverse? I guess we're too far out from all of it to know.
I don't think they can do all that in one movie.
You said you don't think they can, or they can?
I don't think that they can or should do that in one movie.
Yeah, like, I mean, a lot of that is rumor and speculation at this point. Like, nothing is confirmed at this point, but we do know it's about Flashpoint, and that's all we know. And that all of the rumors that we've been hearing about the Michael Keaton Batman and the multiverse, and I don't know what I guess they won't call them variants. I don't know what they'll call them, but Marvel's kind of beat them to the punch with it again. So I don't know.
I don't have much opinions on DC because I'm just sick of them, and I feel like they're just gonna make bad movies no matter what we say. So I'm just gonna sit back and see. I do think that the Suicide Squad is gonna be better than the last one. Also, since I don't think it's tied to any of the other films coming out, they can just go crazy with it, and I hope they do that. Other than that, I'm only excited for the Batman. They might all suck. I don't know. Yeah. Ducky Momo, you're gonna have to Google that one.
Yeah.
His name
there was it
involved alcohol and assault.
Yes. It was an altercation.
Alcohol.
Overseas, was it? I think it was in Ireland. Anyway, but what's his name? Ezra Miller.
He's not.
Yeah, just look it up. Just Google Ezra Miller altercation.
If you click on Ezra Miller and then the news tab,
it'll probably pop up.
It'll be there.
It'll probably pop up.
You know what? I'm just waiting on this Spawn movie. That's what I want to see. Spawn all day. Give me Spawn.
When is that coming out? Is that how to release date?
Spawn's not DC, right? That's its own thing.
It's its own thing.
That too. But I don't know. It's like you just you see DC kind of just spinning in circles over in the corner, and you just kind of like, all right, just let you do that. Just figure yourself out and come back. It's so weird. It's wild. Like the vision that we went from the vision that who directed the Christopher Nolan. We had his vision of DC, which was primarily Batman, but you could DC have
vision. That was just a Batman story. He had no intention of, building on the DC.
Right. Well, he did do. He worked with Zack Snyder on the Superman movie, so like there was tonally something, a vision at least for what and how grounded the story could be, because he went real grounded with Batman. Zack Snyder took it in a different direction with the Snyder Cut and made it a lot more mythic, a lot more epic in scale, and just up the ante on everything. And Warner Brothers seems to be wanting to make it comical or just a little like slapsticky.
They're mimicking Marvel. They need to keep it dark.
But it's not even mimicking Marvel. They're not even doing a good job at mimicking Marvel. Like it doesn't even approximate Marvel. Like they're like,
that's the model they were, using.
yeah, and they're not doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like they could emulate Marvel.
They're not doing it at all.
I feel like they could emulate Marvel in a way as far as the filming schedule and how to introduce new characters, but they're trying to be lighthearted. After the Christopher Nolan trilogy, I don't want to see, comedy and smiles, like violence.
Give me grit.
But
grit.
DC has never been about that. Like DC has never been about that.
Period.
Like DC has always been epic, mythic, darker, grittier than Marvel has. Like Marvel is about fighting the good fight. Like that's what Marvel does well. Like Marvel does a lot of feel good stuff, and it's not slapstick, but that's just how that's what they do. All their comics and all their heroes are like, they're really good feel good stories at the end of the day. And DC is just like, DC is you're talking about, most of their heroes are like gods.
DC just doesn't understand how to make the characters relatable or provide a compelling story anymore. I feel like
It's not DC. It's really Warner Brothers. It's not DC, because DC is still making their characters relatable. Like, because the comics aren't, the comic books and the comic iterations of the characters haven't changed. Of course, they do different versions and they've tried different runs and what have you, but that's a whole nother story. It's Warner Brothers that doesn't seem to understand what DC is. They are the problem. They are the ones. So yeah, until they figure that out, or until like DC can find some new ownership, I think the best thing at this point, realistically, is for Warner Brothers to sell DC to another studio and let another studio have a crack at it.
Just a cool off. Just take a chill pill. It's okay. I'd rather deliver something great than to do nothing at all. Like, I feel like the Batman film that's coming out with Robert Pattinson, they've been working on this forever. The time, the attention is necessary. Give me that. And if you can't do it, don't do it. I'm cool waiting. I'm cool. Like, let's just say Marvel delivered some booty movies back to back to back. Hey, yo, just chill. Get it right. We don't need a movie every 3 months if they're gonna suck. Like, we want to get hype about something good. And I'm not hyped about anything that DC is doing besides the Batman. That's the only one I'm hyped for.
Yeah. I mean, we see where this path leads. It's Fox, right? Like, that's what Fox did with the all their Marvel properties. Like, they just continued to put out bad movie after bad movie after bad movie until they were left with no choice but to sell it. I mean, but they collapsed the whole studio. Like, they sold their entertainment division completely. Like, now Disney owns it. So, and then on the contrary, like, you see Star Wars in Lucasfilm, the mistakes that they made, regardless of how you feel about the sequel trilogy, whether you like it or you dislike it, that's not beside the point. There were mistakes made in the planning process for those movies, and they have made course corrections. And they're continuing to make course corrections. They're finding the right people to put in the right places. They're finding the right stories to tell, and they're figuring out, all right, how are we going to move this train forward so that we continue to honor the legacy of this franchise and the fan base and all the people involved, really.
I don't think they care about honoring the franchise. They just care about keeping that money.
I would disagree with that because
there's no way you can't keep making that sequel trilogy. If they stayed on that path, they would have lost money.
Yeah, but they stopped and they made a course correction. Like, they've made adjustments. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have, like, the Mandalorian. You've got Clone Wars. You got Rebels. You've got all of the other properties that they have made were different, and they figured out, okay, wait, we got to order our steps a bit. Like, they have realized that there is a legacy of characters and storytelling throughout Star Wars over this 40 years that they have to honor, because it's an established franchise, established lore. So people have expectations. Like, you can't just go into it willy-nilly. but it takes putting the right people in place who understand the connections that the fans have to the property, who understand the story and the legacy of that, you know, George Lucas put in place, and mixed with the people who understand the financial side of it, because it does have to make money and it does have to do that. But like, you got to mix both. You got to have great storytelling that honors the legacy of the franchise, but also can speak to a new audience. So, and can continue to generate revenue. Fallen Order as well. Like they have made great properties since the acquisition. It's just that the movies, those 3 movies in particular, they didn't plan correctly at the beginning. At the end of the day,
Ducky Momo, I don't think I have done this on camera. I will admit, I was a Twilight stan. I have all of my books. I dust them off regularly, and I even brought them with me to the movie theater when the movies came out, and I was proud of that. Okay, I most certainly did. You got my mama, and she was good. But anyway, the acting was horrible. I'll admit it, but I don't think you should blame that on the actors. I think the characters were written like that. And I have seen Robert Pattinson in other things, and I think he's pretty good. But
he's a good actor.
Robert Pattinson. No, he is definitely a good actor.
Also, I just saw The Lighthouse this week.
What you think?
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yo,
craziest. I don't know.
Yo, I was like,
yeah.
Yeah. So, what was you? First of all, they called it a horror, and you know I like horror, and that's what messed me up. There was nothing scary about that film. I would not call that horror. So it's a drama.
It's a twisted thriller.
What was thrilling?
It was a thriller because you didn't know what was going on or when something was going to happen or why. It was just
But what did happen though?
A bunch of
nothing
events.
Okay,
that bird. He killed the shit out of that bird.
It was fed. I'm not gonna hold him. I felt him. Mad too. I think the movie. I'm not giving a good review. Go watch The Lighthouse if you would like to see Robert Pattinson's acting abilities. I think.
And William Dafoe.
Yeah, and that's the first movie that I've seen him in where he was not Green Goblin. He's been Green Goblin to me for years.
That's wild.
That's the only thing he's ever
William
been.
Dafoe is that's wild.
Well, I'm saying since I saw that movie when I was a kid, whenever I see him, I'm thinking, that's Green Goblin. Throughout the film, that's what I'm thinking. But in The Lighthouse, he was not Green Goblin at all. He was whatever the character he was in this crazy movie.
Yeah, he was that old man. Was he even there though?
I think he was.
I think he was there.
He was there. So yeah, watch that. Team J.
This is a hot take for me, Green Bear, but Boondock Saints, overrated, overhyped, straight trash. Straight trash.
Let me see. Have I seen that movie?
Boondock Saints.
Nah, but see, they're not. Tobey Maguire and Robert Pattinson are not the same caliber actor. You're just
no, I would put them in the same category.
Not same.
Have you not seen Cider House Rules? Tobey Maguire, bro. Cider House Rules? I'm kidding.
Oh man.
Green Bear, I just checked. I have not seen Boondock Saints, but I will watch it and record. What you want to talk about me?
No, they talking about his take on Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints. Like
I'll watch it.
Boondocks ain't.
I'm screaming.
Oh man. All right. What else we got?
I mean, we could have continued talking about Batman because we were supposed to talk about our most favorite and least favorite superhero costumes in live action. Also, I was doing some debating, and although I didn't want us to dive into the comics because that conversation would never end, but I will expand to cartoons for superhero costumes that are just straight whack, because there are some shining costumes in there, or good ones or bad ones, just whatever you feel. But yeah, I mean, do we start with Bat Nips or do we end with Bat Nips?
Batnips is forever.
Okay, JBM, you got to explain yourself because at the end of the last week's episode, you chose a new stance on Batnips. Matter of fact, let me pull them up to remind the world. I want you to say this while they're on screen. Well, I typed in Batnip and Google thought I meant catnip. No, I meant Batnip.
Oh man.
I might get a Batnip suit. I want some Batnips.
I don't want you to want Batnips. Please don't want Batnips. So what you said is these things are growing on you, fam.
Oh, they growing over me. It's the perfect pun. Is it not?
No.
You know, because
this man had a leather cape, bro. We because we hadn't even touched on the fact that the cape is leather. Like that's just
why he got his arms out like that, like he raw.
Listen, you just defended this costume last
this
week.
is your costume though.
Yeah, that one right there. Hey, that Robin suit kind of fire though.
Wait, everybody had nipples.
That
yeah,
green
all the
and
suits
red.
had nipples.
Yeah, all the suits had.
Oh, look, you're touching them.
Oh man. Yeah, all the suits had nipples except for
Let me stop scrolling.
the Riddler.
Praise the Lord.
Yo, that close up of the Batnips though.
You said it was growing on you.
Not that one. That's like a nipple on top of a nipple. It's like a double
layered.
nip. It's a layered nip.
What's the difference between this one and this one?
Scroll down.
Scroll down. Further away?
Hold up. Scroll down. Keep going.
How far are you going?
All right, the one on the left right there. All right. That Robin one.
That's a different suit though. Even Batman has a different
It's
suit.
Batnips. He got nips.
Yeah, but they don't have the bezels on them.
What bezels?
Don't call it a bezel. I don't like that. Don't do that.
They're straight up buttons. Like
Straight up buttons.
it's like you press them. Like what's the second indentation? What's the second part?
It's that golden suit.
Hey man, this is where you get into uncharted territory.
Is she
I think
rubbing?
I think that's Poison Ivy.
That's Poison Ivy.
But is that Photoshop? That's got to be Photoshop.
I think it's just I think it's a drawing. I don't think it's the actual suit. It was probably supposed to show light or whatever. That's why I looked around like that. But even your Iceman had him, Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, he had his own.
That low key makes sense though.
And his were like a nut in a bolt. See, what's that? A watch? What's the thing called?
Oh,
That's
that's a straight up. That's like a like a piercing.
What is this random person? Is that his son?
Apparently, his son was afraid of him in that costume. I would be too. Get the blue man out of here.
Yeah, you do look a little crazy.
Didn't Vivica Fox play his boo? That movie was crazy.
Was she in that?
Yes, she was.
Oh man, I forgot about that, yo.
That's true. I saw that Nicolas Cage Superman outfit, and it was.
Oh wow, I forgot about that.
It was his.
Was in the movie. That is crazy.
Oh wow, wow. I forgot all about her in that movie.
You said Nicolas Cage.
She really did that.
What the hell?
Man, that spelling was great.
I don't know where my caps were going. Don't look at it.
I think this was a Tim Burton idea.
This was the Superman Lives movie that never happened. Shout out to the documentary. There's a documentary on this. John Schnepp, R.I.P.
Don't even look real.
Was it filmed?
I think I think
they never went to. They never went to
principal. They did everything for it though. Like it was a full like this movie was really about to happen. He got cast and everything. Like that was going to be the first Superman reboot.
This is wild, unrelated, but anytime I see Nicolas Cage like on the casting of a film, I'm immediately like, nah, like this ain't.
Nah. That's
like,
crazy.
You don't like Castor Troy?
What's that?
His early career though.
Face Off.
his prime when he was in.
I'm
his
talking
prime.
about now. If you see Nicolas Cage or star in a movie right now, how you feel?
Hey man, he was almost Tiger King.
I don't have. Oh shit.
I never hold you. If they came out with a Tiger King story, I'd have watched that.
Oh, for sure.
And
it would because it was Nicolas Cage playing. I'm not gonna lie. I would have to see this Nicolas Cage playing Tiger King.
I'm not watching that.
It might be.
I'll go back and watch Con Air again.
I'm not saying I'll watch the whole thing, but I would have to see what that looks like. I just need to know.
I can imagine him doing that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Con Air was the one where he held on to the bunny the whole time, and by the time he gave it to his daughter, it was all singy. Con Air.
What was up with that in the 90s? All those hijack movies.
Yeah, it was action.
That was a fad, man. That was a trend.
It was action, It's kind of residual from the 80s, but like then you had like better technology and better higher budgets, and they went all in with it. But yeah, Con Air he was a felon, and some prisoners hijacked a plane, and he was
wasn't it a prison transport airplane?
Yeah, they were like being transported.
Yeah, wild plot, but it was action.
Yeah,
it's action.
Action. It had John Malkovich in it.
Fine. I had some others that I wanted to talk about. Do y'all have any favorites and least favorites?
I like the Daredevil suit, the new one from the Netflix show.
I saw. I think it was Ducky Momo that said Deadpool. I like Spider. I mean, I've liked every single Spider-Man suit. I don't think I've had an issue with any of the Spider-Man iterations.
Spider-Man is the one character that, like, as long as you put the spider on his chest and his eyes are the right shape, we don't care. Like, or at least maybe it's easy to make a good one because they haven't gotten it wrong.
Oh, Green Bear. My fault, Green Bear. Green Bear said Deadpool. That's a great pick. I
think one of my least favorite is Black Lightning.
He looks real corny.
Yeah,
they just like, come on.
I mean, the best suit is definitely Blank Man, though. That's like, as far if we're talking about practicality, definitely.
Absolutely not.
Top 10, bro. For realism and practicality, that suit is definitely.
Do I even want to put this on the screen?
Hell no. I put that as most cherished uniform. About that.
Random. Do y'all remember that live action Inspector Gadget movie?
Oh my goodness! Matthew Broderick.
Barely.
I remember Inspector.
I remember the hype train around the movie more than I remember the movie. They really hyped that movie up, though.
Yeah, from Spider-Man 3.
Okay, so here's the thing, though. The X-Men suits, bad. Magneto's suit has been solid.
Magneto? Yeah, Magneto.
Yeah, Magneto's suit has been solid throughout.
The first class suits were cool.
The cape and the helmet. After that, he can have on whatever. I do appreciate that in the reboot, they just said as long as he has his signature helmet on, he's good, and it worked.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, you're not gonna put Ian McKellen in anything trash though, suit wise. Like you gotta put my man's in something. I don't know why, but the first Deadpool from the Wolverine, that's top or bottom 10. Also, Green Lantern.
He just had on a beater and some pants.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Bottom 10. Bottom 10. That whole thing. I was like, yo, y'all didn't understand anything. That's just completely disrespectful. Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern suit.
The whole suit was CGI.
The Flash suit. I don't like the live action Flash suit. I like the TV show better.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
I mean, I get the logic of the what is it's made of Kevlar and space shuttle, those heating tiles that keep the supposed to keep the space shuttle cool. But thing is, they have to change those tiles out every single time for each of the re-entries. Like that was one of the costs, one of the big expenses for the space shuttle program, because they have to replace those tiles for each of the missions because they get burned up. So it's not really as practical as they thought or implied it would be, because each time he ran, technically he would have to replace those panels.
What about the costume from the second villain in the second half of the first season of Luke Cage?
Bro, you just did that. That was way too much math.
Okay,
what
season one.
Season 1, second half, Diamondback.
Diamondback? No.
Didn't
no,
he have
that looked like that was terrible.
It was.
That was terrible.
It was absolutely terrible.
I don't even remember it. Diamond. You got me looking it up. Diamondback costume.
That suit was terrible. Oh man, I remember that. It was horrible. What is it? The Mantis, like Black Mantis from
janitor joint.
Black
Aquaman.
Mantis. Well, Black Mantis suit looks crazy to begin with.
It's hard, but that's one of those ones that they could have redesigned for practicality. That suit looked horrible.
They could have made the
it looked worse in live action.
They could have made the head a little smaller. What's the show that Netflix just dropped? The superhero show.
Jupiter Ascending, that got canceled too.
Every costume.
That suit was terrible.
So I'm gonna compare the majority of the costumes from the CW series to Jupiter's Legacy. Just the budget ran out at costumes. I'm including Black Lightning in there. Most of the costumes on the Flash, there's just the budget was not there for those. And I understand because it's a show and they can't dedicate that much to them. But if you're not going to spend good money, it's going to look whack.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Wonder Woman is also, she's never had a bad suit.
I hate her boots though. In the newer movies, them things, they just piss me off. I do not like it. But it's a problem they have.
She should technically be in sandals.
Were they like boot wedges type?
They're like boot wedges, and I've noticed that in a lot of films, it's either a boot wedge or a heel, but then like during in the action scene, it changes to a flat. You know what's a good example of this? Watchmen. What was her name? Shorty who had on the yellow and black suit. My brain is not there right now. Let me look it up.
No idea.
The yellow and black suit.
That's just wrong.
And it's a bad suit. I'm gonna put that one up so y'all can see. Watchmen.
I'm trying to say. Okay, so that's probably that. I would say that's definitely the worst. That has to be the worst suit in the MCU.
Which one?
Taskmaster.
No, the worst.
Yeah, the Marvel, in the MCU. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the entire. I'm just talking about the Disney MCU stuff.
The movies, the theatrical releases.
Yeah, the cinematic universe stuff. Not.
And you saying who?
Taskmaster. That's probably got who? I mean,
you don't think the Red Hope, the Russian Captain America was that suit?
That suit was very much like the comic book suit, though.
It was supposed to look old and corny, and I think they succeeded. So I'm not going to call that a bad suit because I think it was supposed to look that way. He was supposed to look like old and corny. This is on the bottom for me, mostly because I'm a woman and this don't make no sense. But this costume was latex. It's probably mad steamy. I'm sure it caused hot crotch. And on top of that, they had scenes where, like, when she's just chilling, she has heels on. But during the action scene, it switches to like these flat things so that she can move around easy. I can't find a picture.
She don't roll her ankle.
Oh yeah, but see,
I'm sorry, can't fight it.
Yeah.
Nobody's fighting.
You talking about the Watchmen movie? I was thinking about. Yeah, okay. I was like, what?
I know probably Ultra Sexy, which was the goal. Silk Spectre, her mom, had the OG suit, and then they switched it up for the younger. Well, that's not the right one. They switched it up for the modern day one, but didn't like it. But I was saying about women's shoes, they always try to like make the woman look sexy. So she might have on like a heel or something when it's chill time, but when it's in go mode, they're gonna give her an ugly flat or a wet, and just put shorty in boots from the jump, flat boots, make them nice. Anything is gonna be better than the switch up during filming. Yeah. But also, this is not practical. Ain't nobody wearing this to fight.
That's what I'm saying. Like, make it
clothes.
Unless the fight is a themed type of fight.
What'd you say?
Unless it was a themed fight, but that's something else. But the Loki, the variant Loki from the Loki show had a terrible suit. The one that conjured up Asgard.
Oh yeah, that's the OG comic book Loki character comic.
Straight trash.
Costume. It's exactly like the comic book version. The Silver Age Loki.
And baggy. He looked like Barnacle Boy.
Yeah, even Loki's costume in the first Avenger movie, that wasn't too great.
Yeah,
I put Taskmaster above both of those.
I'm looking it up right now. Soldier pads. The shoulder pads were a little thick.
Yeah,
that's not terrible.
What? That is terrible. What?
Had to give it to him.
Where's the one with the?
I mean, it's like it's extra. It's that one with the Scepter.
Yeah. That's Power Rangers.
Yeah, see, it looks more ceremonial than like of a like more. It's not, that doesn't look like something for combat. It looks like more ceremonial garb than combat.
The Power Rangers costumes, they was doing too often. It was just simple. Just give us the little stripes and the things. They have a lot going on.
Yeah, but that's Silver. That's
Isabella G.
Shout out to the in-law.
The Silver Age Loki though.
Silver Age Loki.
Yeah, because that's what that.
This is from the MCU.
Here.
Was this from the show Silver Age?
No, the Silver Age comic of Marvel Comics, Silver Age. That.
Oh, but not live action.
Yeah, that's the original Loki costume from the comic books.
Boy, they came a long way.
Yes, and that's who
Iron Man. The original Iron Man suit looked crazy.
Yeah, those are the originals though. But that's the original Thor costume right there. And see, this is the version that they did for Loki, for that variant, the OG Loki.
Yeah.
Old man Loki. So it's not like, it looks ugly, but it's actually a true representation of one of his many suits.
Yeah.
In history.
There aren't many costumes from the comics that are going to look good on screen. Like if they ever put the original Wolverine costume on screen.
Which one?
Yeah, especially the Silver Age costume. Those Silver Age comics, those costumes from the Silver Age they're not gonna translate well on screen.
I know we said live action, but I saw something a couple of weeks ago that I have not been able to recover from. And I feel like the world needs to see what Rick and Morty thinks Aquaman suit, like what their version of Aquaman suit. This was the character from the season opening of the current season of Rick and Morty. Call him Mr. Nimbus. That's their Aquaman. And every time he thrusts his hips He can like control you by moving his junk, and it moves a lot in the episode.
Yo,
people
What?
Exactly what I said. I was just staring at my TV like, y'all have got to be kidding me.
Oh man, that's like something straight out of Family Guy.
It felt like it. Oh,
That is
here we go.
wild.
Move. There you go. That was the majority of the episode. Yeah. Actually, just one more time. Bow. Okay, that's it. Oh, sorry, it's still playing. Ducky Mama, you want the crazy X-Men costumes on camera? Are we gonna be able to take the film seriously?
There will be a lot of complaints.
There will be mad complaints.
There will be a lot of things said about those costumes.
Let me pull up.
Spawn has the best costume though. Spawn.
Yeah.
His costume is alive. They don't get no better than that.
I look forward to the remake because the CGI was so bad in the original. Wasn't he in Mortal Kombat? He was. Didn't we watch him die over and over again a few weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
We were watching the Mortal Kombat, the fatalities,
and they
were killing Spawn the whole time.
Look at that costume. Ah, that's fire. That's dope. They were killing them over and over.
Oh, we didn't mention it, but the Captain America suit, the new one from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that is horrible.
Yeah, that's a bad one too. I forgot about that one.
Oh, y'all don't like that one. I kind of like that one.
I didn't like the cowl. And also, it
seems unnecessary.
Speaking of cowl, the Falcon.
What?
The costume for the Falcon and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The new Captain America.
Yeah,
that's
what we're talking about.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay, I thought you said Captain America from the Winter Soldier.
No, the new Captain America.
No,
okay.
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Okay, yeah.
That version of the Captain America costume. It's not even like his from the comics. Like the one in the comic book is better.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a pic of the comic book ones side by side so you can see. Like I think in the comics the wings are all red. Also, I stand by. There was a little too much red, white, and blue for Wakanda to have made that suit. I'm sorry. I don't think. I don't know. The one from the comic, I could see that one, but the stars and stripes were all over that thing. And I mean, I know he's Captain America, but this is still whack.
But they toned it down. Like even Steve Rogers, his later suits were more toned down from especially after the events of Winter Soldier. The suit changed. It's a little bit more muted.
I cannot find this suit from the comics. I don't know what I'm typing in.
Doctor Strange suit is I do like Doctor Strange's suit. His costume. I'm really looking forward to Multiverse of Madness, man. It's gonna be really good.
I like the Superman, the black suit from
Yep.
The Snyder Cut too.
Yeah, man. That's it, man. You know.
That's all I got.
I think that's all I got too.
That's all I got.
Oh, we were supposed to talk about Ragnarok and possibly re-rating it this week, but I had a busy weekend and I was unable to schedule the watch party, but I know y'all wanted it. So this Thursday at 8:00, we will be having a watch party for Ragnarok. So get ready, have your popcorn ready, 7:50, sit down on the couch and get ready to hit that play button at 8:00 on the dot. Okay.
All for you, Ducky.
In the Discord.
The watch party will be in the Discord. We could chat about it while the movie is going, and we could probably make a separate chat just for watch parties. And I'm gonna, see if I want to change my opinion on it. No promises. No
Yeah,
problem.
they also so we can share, like somebody can just stream it and we just share the screen in the Discord.
That's illegal, bro. You probably shouldn't say that on air.
I mean, we can do it.
We're gonna figure it
technically. Technically, it's not public. It's private server.
Yeah, so it's
that's just as bad as like having people come over and watch the movie with you. Like,
psych.
If you put it on the internet though, that's a little different. There's where you have problems.
But should we be admitting that we're gonna do it though? Like,
we're not live streaming it to YouTube.
You're right.
Yeah,
you can see us.
Yeah, that's different. Man. It's a little different.
Dang, Bucks really about to win tonight. Dang, I was hoping to go to Game 7.
Oh, what's the score?
Is Chris Paul gonna be the new Charles Barkley?
This is a close game. It's 26-31. Yeah,
so it's been Chris Paul game winner. Game winner.
I thought they were getting blown out. It's not even a blowout. Like, yeah, 33-26. That's not bad. That's a definitely manageable deficit. But yeah, time to get out of here.
Coop Friday.
Bad Batch episode 13. Here, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Definitely tune in if you watch. I definitely encourage everybody to watch the episode before you watch the my review of the episode. But if you don't, you just want to tune in and listen to me talk about the Bad Batch and Star Wars, then hey, power to you. I won't mind. But yeah, full spoiler review, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always, here on the channel. And then we'll be back next Tuesday.
Yes, next Tuesday we're gonna watch Ragnarok together as a family. Hopefully y'all tune in with us on Thursday at 8:00, and the next Tuesday we're gonna come back here and see. That'll be our community discussion. See, how we're feeling about our list. See if we can move it up or down or whatever. Maybe it might even go down. It could go all the way down. We'll see.
And maybe we can try to watch Space Jam and then talk about Space Jam Tuesday and then do the community discussion, the Ragnarok's review.
Yes. Everybody watch Space Jam. It's on HBO Max. Were you trying to do a watch party, or you just encourage people to watch?
No, I'm just encouraging people to watch, because I'd say like we should probably talk about it by Tuesday since it's been out.
I think that's cool. So let's do that. The dog is crying. I don't know what's going on with him. I'll be there in a second. So watch Space Jam by next Tuesday, y'all, because we're gonna talk about it. It's gonna be spoiler heavy. If you didn't watch it, we're not gonna care. We're gonna say what we want to say.
Yeah, you've been warned, and we will warn you again on the stream. But hey, it will be a spoiler review, and I haven't seen it yet, so I'm excited to watch it.
But as always, thank you for watching. Please please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch at Certified Gumbo. If you enjoyed the show and want to support us, please buy us some coffee. The link is in the description bar down below. What am I missing? Oh, join us on Discord. We talk about this stuff all day, every day. Who did I see new in the chat today, or at least it's kind of new? Green Bear, are you on Discord? I don't know if I've seen that name on Discord before. So please join us on Discord. We talk about this stuff all day, every day. Okay, so please join us. And then lastly, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. We need that. Do that.
Absolutely. Tell your friends, tell everybody, tell everyone that you talk to about Star Wars, about Marvel, DC, entertainment, and general sports, anything, any of these topics that we talk about on these streams. Tell all your friends about us. Tell them to come subscribe, check us out, watch us. And that's all I got to say.
Oh, I saw a comment about me looking like, I might be ready for my yearbook photo. I make it my
goal with the lasers
at all times.
Is
that what that was?
What the laser? Wow, that is exactly what that laser background looks like. It is like a straight up early 2000s.
I thought that was complimenting my makeup or whatever, but I see now. This is the end of the laser. Bring something else.
It's just usually it's more muted. Like it's like they put a filter on it.
Yeah, actually, I've got a yearbook. I've got a school picture with similar colors.
We all do.
Yeah, that's like it's like an early 2000s like yearbook background.
Say goodbye to it. This the last time.
That.
What?
I'm
Look,
sick.
bro, it
cool.
was retro.
Yeah, it's
I
retro.
thought the whole
It's
thing was
nice.
retro.
You know, it
It's
rocks.
nice. It's like it's got that
It's
90s
fitting.
vibe.
It's fitting.
That wasn't the goal I was going for. I was just lasers, pew pew. You know, and cool. Forget it.
Hey, yeah, that's the 90s. That's 80s, 90s lasers everywhere. They got neon lights and lasers.
Alrighty then. Take care now. Bye bye then.
And as I always say, peace, love, blessings, and may the force be with you.